Basketball fans, welcome into NBA Now from Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, and today I'm breaking down all 22 teams in the bubble and where they fall in my power rankings. But before we get there, I want to see if you're ready for some NBA basketball. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up down below if you're ready to see the NBA get back in action in Orlando. We get a lot of viewers on our channel, but it turns out only a little over half of you are hitting that thumbs up. So go ahead and like this video if you're ready for some more basketball and more basketball coverage from Chat Sports. Now I'll start off with number 22, the worst team in the bubble. It's the Washington Wizards. Look, there's no John Wall, there's no Bradley Beal, there's not a whole lot to watch for the Washington Wizards. But followed up at 21 is the Brooklyn Nets, and they're following closely behind. Now here's the thing with the Brooklyn Nets. They would not be at 21 in my ranking if they had everyone healthy. But they just don't. I mean, this team is very unhealthy right now. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are sitting out. They also had Taurean Prince, DeAndre Jordan, Spencer Dinwiddie, Wilson Chandler, and Nick Claxton, the rookie, all opt out of playing in the Orlando bubble. So the really only players you're watching on that team now are Joe Harris and Karis LeVert and Jared Allen. Not enough to get you any higher than 21 on my power rankings. Now, before I get into 20 all the way down to number 1, I want to tell you about this awesome deal over at Fanatics. When you go to chatsports.com/NBA hat, you can get up to 65% off all hats starting at just $12. So whatever team you support, whether they're in the bubble or they're not in the bubble, go pick up a hat for starting at as little as $12. There's no reason to go check these deals out right now at chatsports.com/NBA hat and use promo code CONE to get that 65% off. Otherwise, you're paying full price, and nobody wants to pay full price when you can save 65% off. Now let's go to number 20, the Sacramento Kings. They've had a lot of unhealthy players, a lot of players dealing with COVID-19. Marvin Bagley is out for them, and De'Aaron Fox is recovering from a sprained ankle, so I've got them down at 20. At number 19, the San Antonio Spurs are set to miss the playoffs for the first time in what seems like a billion, kabillion, jabillion, thousands of millions of years. They're actually not going to make it this year. The San Antonio Spurs down at 19. They're also that low because there's no LaMarcus Aldridge. Slightly above them, I've got the Phoenix Suns. Now, it doesn't really matter when you're this low, but I'm a little higher than them on them than most people because I like Mikal Bridges. I like Devin Booker. I'm excited to see what DeAndre Ayton can do in the Orlando bubble. So here's a question for you guys as you're watching this show. Which team are you cheering for in the Orlando bubble? Maybe you don't have your team there. Maybe you're bandwagoning on someone else. Or maybe your favorite team is in the bubble. Let me know who that is in the comment section below. Go ahead and shout them out. At 17, we've got the Orlando Magic. And yes, I've got them above teams like the Spurs and the Suns and the Kings because I like Jonathan Isaac. Mo Bamba looks like he's improved a little bit, but they're still going to be down near the bottom of the Eastern Conference. At 16, I've got Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and the Portland Trail Blazers. Not very high on them. I don't think they're going to be the team to sneak in with the 8th seed in the Western Conference because outside of Dame and CJ, I don't like that supporting cast. That's why I've got the Memphis Grizzlies right above them at 15. Memphis currently holds that 8th seed in the Western Conference. Ja Morant is dominating in scrimmages, and they are looking really, really strong right now. I love that duo of Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. However, I think the team that's going to be better than them when the NBA restarts is the New Orleans Pelicans. I got them in at 14. I think they're going to be the team to sneak into the 8th seed with Zion Williamson fully healthy, Brandon Ingram making the case for most improved player, and guys and veterans like Drew Holiday truly leading the charge into the NBA playoffs. So I'll go ahead and ask you, I just gave you my answer. Which team gets that 8th seed in the Western Conference? The Grizzlies hold it right now, but you got the Blazers close on their tail and the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm going with the Pelicans. I think I saw the most improvement out of them before the season went on a little bit of break, but maybe you disagree. Maybe you think it's the Grizzlies or the Portland Trail Blazers. Let me know in the comments section below. Now at number 13, the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference. They got Victor Oladipo back. They've got Malcolm Brogdon. Their backcourt is set. However, the Pacers are missing a very key piece to their team in Domantas Sabonis. He is going to miss the rest of the season as he's dealing with plantar fasciitis, and that's a tough blow for the Pacers because he made his first All-Star team, and he was putting up a 20-point double-double nearly every single night. 18.5 points per game and 12 rebounds to go along with 5 assists. No Sabonis, not a good look for the Pacers. Now let's go to number 12, the Utah Jazz. I am very low on the Jazz when the NBA gets started again. Of course, they got Rudy Gobert. Of course, they've got Donovan Mitchell. But Bojan Bogdanovic, who is scoring nearly 20 points per game, is out for them. He's got an injury. So Joe Ingles steps into that starting five. I don't believe in this team. I think they're going to fall as low as the 7th, maybe the 6th seed in the Western Conference. Right above them, I got the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder were rolling right before the NBA went on a break. Now they get Andre Roberson back. They've got Chris Paul leading the charge. SGA is trying to take over the keys to that team. And Steven Adams looks like a top 5 center in the NBA now that he is 100% healthy. Speaking of top 5 centers in the NBA, number 10, the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid. I've got them just inside the top 10. I think Ben Simmons hopefully has some kind of jump shot in the bubble, but I wouldn't expect it. I think that team, they're primed for a bit of a run, but not as deep as they went last year. I've got them just sneaking into the top 10. Along with it, number 9, the Houston Rockets and their small ball lineup with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Now, a lot of people are believers in this team. I'm not. I think they are a pretender. They're going to get bounced early. I think this small ball lineup is going to hurt them in the end. I think their starting 5 is going to be Russell Westbrook and James Harden with Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker playing the 5, and Robert Covington at the forward position. Your next tallest guy, your only tall guy on that team is Tyson Chandler, a 19-year veteran. Don't expect him to produce much. If they go up against a team with size like the Nuggets or even the Dallas Mavericks, this Rockets team is going to have some trouble. Speaking of the Dallas Mavericks, I got them right above Houston, their Texas rival there at number 8 with Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis leading the charge. Much like the Oklahoma City Thunder, this team was rolling before the break. KP and Luka really started to gel and show that they were a power duo to be messed with in the Western Conference. Luka in these scrimmages is looking like a dominant player, and Kristaps Porzingis, once he's 100%, now that he is 100%, the Mavs are going to be a scary, scary team, and I think they finish above the Houston Rockets in the Western Conference. And if you're a Mavs fan and you want to keep up with all of our Mavs coverage, I'm going to be doing that every single day over on the Mavs channel. So go to youtube.com/allthingsmavs. We're continuing to grow every day. I want to hit that 4,000 mark before the season gets started, so go help me out. Hit subscribe on our brand new All Things Mavs channel. Let's get into the top 7 here. The Miami Heat at number 7 with Goran Dragic, Jimmy Butler, Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Derek Jones Jr., Bam Adebayo. This is such a fun team right now, and they've surprised so many people, including me. I think they're going to be fun to watch in the bubble. And if you want to rep their gear, if you're a Miami Heat fan, the best way to do that is by going to chatsports.com/NBA hat, getting your favorite team hat for as low as $12. When you use promo code CONE to save 65% off. Whatever team you're cheering for in the bubble or out of the bubble, you can find a great hat for you or a buddy or a best friend or a loved one today. Chatsports.com/NBA hat for real cheap right now. Let's go to number 6, the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, 100% healthy Gordon Hayward, Kemba Walker. This team is fun, and I love that duo of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I think this is a perfect moment for both those guys to step up and show that they can take this team to the Eastern Conference Finals. However, there's a team standing in their way, and that's the number 5 Toronto Raptors, the defending NBA champions, another team, much like the Miami Heat, that have surprised a ton of people like myself. Pascal Siakam's playing at a top 10 NBA player caliber level. I mean, this guy is incredible, and I love Kyle Lowry's leadership on this team. Serge Ibaka is still there, and Marc Gasol as well. So I've got the Raptors at 5, but I'm jumping on a different hype train in the bubble, and that's the Denver Nuggets. This team has been incredible to watch in scrimmages, and they're not even 100% yet. That's why I've got them at 4. I think they're going to make some noise when the season restarts. They're currently 3rd in the Western Conference, but they're only a game and a half out of the 2nd seed that the Los Angeles Clippers hold. And when you see what Bol is doing on the floor in the scrimmages, if that guy can do any of that or even half of that when the season gets started again, this team's going to be a force to be reckoned with. In fact, I think this is a team that could push for the Western Conference Finals. But they've got 2 Western Conference foes in their way. Number 1 being the Los Angeles Clippers. I've got them in at number 3. I know my friend Harrison Graham had them at number 1 in his power rankings. I disagree with you there, buddy. I've got the Clippers there at 3, below 2 different teams, and we're going to break both of those teams down here in depth a little bit more in just a minute. But I'm going to ask you another question. You've made it this far in the video. You're into the top 2. So who is the one player that you are most excited to watch in the NBA bubble? I asked you about the teams, but give me the one player, because there's a lot of fun players to watch. You got the young and exciting Luka Doncic. You got the MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. You got the king LeBron James. And speaking of LeBron James, number 2, the Los Angeles Lakers. That's right, I've got them 1 spot below the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, They are the best team in the Western Conference. They lead the league in field goal percentage and blocks per game. But the question I have with this team is, outside of LeBron and AD, who is going to step up? You've got Danny Green, who's been inconsistent all year. But now you've got a bench with J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters that you're going to be counting on. However, these two guys right here, you know what you're getting every single night. You're getting 26 points from the King and 27 points from Anthony Davis, the Defensive Player of the Year. Rebounding and assists, all the rebounding coming from AD, all the passes coming from LeBron. This is one of, if not actually, I'd say, the best overall duo in the NBA right now. They are a force to be reckoned with. But a duo doesn't make you the best team. What makes you the best team is being the best team in the regular season, and that's what the Milwaukee Bucks were. That's why I've got them at number 1. They've been the most consistent team all year long. I've got Giannis Antetokounmpo as the MVP of the NBA. You can check my argument for that in my last video on Chat Sports. But the only question I do have with the Bucks, because I've got them at number 1, is outside of Giannis, is Khris Middleton or Eric Bledsoe, Wesley Matthews, Brook Lopez, are those guys going to step up on a consistent basis? Now, when you look at what the Bucks did this year, they were first in every category that mattered. Wins, they had 53, better than anybody in the NBA. Win percentage, they were winning 81.5% of their games, best in the NBA. They scored the most points per game at 118.6, and they were beating teams by 11.3 points per game on average. That's ridiculous. That is a juggernaut. That is what this Milwaukee Bucks team is, and I think that's why they are the force to be reckoned with when the NBA gets going again. You've got Bledsoe. You've got Wesley Matthews. You've got a great bench with Kyle Korver, Dante DiVincenzo, Robin Lopez, all of those solid players backing up a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'd watch out for the Milwaukee Bucks to win it all this year. But who is your pick? Who is your pick to win it all? I've got the Milwaukee Bucks at 1 and the Lakers at 2. I think that's who we're going to see in the NBA Finals. But who do you think is going to win it all? Let me know in the comment section below. NBA fans, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video we're doing here on Chat Sports. Give this video a like, and I'll see you next time.